Hey everybody, welcome back to Planet Therapy with my guys. This is the space where we have casual and light-hearted conversations such as self-love, work-life balance, and also empowerment. So today's a little bit of a short episode because as you might know or might not know, we've made it to episode 10 of season 1. So round of applause for that. I feel like it's gone a lot quicker than I expected, or a lot like, okay, cool, we actually here. And I think there's just so much to really celebrate. And I feel like I didn't know if I was even going to make it to 10 episodes of Planet Therapy. So I'm just glad that A, that goal was ticked. Remember, one of the goals was to actually make it to 10 episodes. So I'm just so glad that you guys have actually even been with me on this journey. I hope you guys learned a couple of things. We even had guests. I'm just so happy. We had Otta, we had Candice, we had Pamela, and I feel like they all shared different things for their different walks of life. So, for example, with Candice sharing about her journey with Kia Cosmetics, I kind of work with her a little bit here and there. And I think even just sitting down listening to her, and obviously she's my sister, so I know bits and bobs of like her journey and what she goes through. But I feel like even from there, it was so informative to know, to understand how she manages her day to day, because I guess sometimes we're not always going to have those sorts of deep conversations with people who are always around. So just hearing how even with when it comes to work-life balance or anything like that, she just says she has no balance. It's just for her what works. It's just what screams the loudest, and then tries to kind of make plans to make sure that, okay, cool, she can have all her bases covered with her kids, with her business, with her husband, with her family, and just everything else. So honestly, I give it to her, and it was such a great conversation. With Otta, it was great learning about his work experience and stuff like that, and especially as he traveled from here to Amsterdam, and just how he's just different work cultures, how they work, how they operate, and his journey within his career. It was just also really inspiring, because I feel like for me, I realized I was a bit sheltered growing up, where not as a bad thing. It's just I never really thought about leaving London. So just hearing that, and I feel like I've been around a couple of people. I've left London, and then I never knew what, let's say, the work culture might be like. So it's great having, let's say, an insight into that, and also a potential career path that I never really thought of or explored. So it was just really intriguing to kind of hear that sort of perspective and how, he goes about that sort of journey. And also with my mum. Obviously she's my mum, so another person that I've known all my life, basically. So it is also just a different sort of perspective, where like her experience of working from before I was even born, and also just what she's doing now as a business growth specialist. She has a book, she's done counseling, like she's also been such an inspiration for me. Her, my sister, family, just being people that I've always watched grow up in their journey, and something where I feel like I want to also do something with myself. So again, just another powerful inspiration with that. And even I made jokes where my mom talks to me about ChatGPT and tells me, oh, I need to do. But this week, I guess a little update. I feel like this week has just been such a roller coaster, where I don't necessarily know why. It was just, I felt so overwhelmed. And I think it was just the come down of, oh, actually, let's start off with good news. So I said in one of my episodes that I'm not leaving May without a job, or leaving the end of this podcast without a job. And I signed my contracts today with a new job. And I'll be working as an IT and data support assistant. So really, really excited about that. I remember I've done like data training and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to maybe become like a data analyst and stuff like that, or maybe work in sales operations, as I have a background in sales. So I don't know, just going through this unemployment journey and just interviewing constantly, doing presentations, doing role plays for these sales roles, or just in general, has really drained me in these last couple of months. And honestly, I think interviewing is just hell on earth at the moment. Just job market, I don't know what's happening. Um, but honestly, I recommend everybody that's going through it, just keep pushing. And if you know someone's going through it, really encourage them, because It's hard. Like me, I'm someone that I could paint a smile and be like, yeah, I'm good, and I just go about my day to day. But in reality, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. You never really know what's going to happen because there's so much that is out of your control. And that's difficult for me because I'm someone where I like to know I can control the narrative. Like I know what I'm doing here. I know what's happening there. I try and email and follow up. Hey, is there any sort of like response or anything? Just so that I know, okay, I want a response by this date. Da, 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 da. But no, you're not going to get that when you're interviewing because it's you don't know. You'll hear one thing, oh, you done great, but then you got someone else that might have had more experience, or they just go with that person. So interviewing is just such a roller coaster of emotions, of work, time, and effort, and it just felt nice to know that someone actually wanted me for their company, and it just felt like all the hard work I put in actually worked out, and even better than I expected because I felt like I enjoyed sales. It was cool. I feel like I fell into it by accident, but I enjoyed talking to people. But I felt like my passion wasn't fully there. And now I'm pivoting. So obviously when I was made redundant, I was like, oh, okay, what do I do now? Didn't really know what was going to happen. So, and I obviously going through this unemployment journey, it's very rare you're going to know what's going to happen because again, so much is out of your control, and that can be so much like anxiety inducing. And so going into fields that I originally wanted to go in, I just thought it would be later on. It's just so fantastic for me, and I can train from the bottom up. And so I'm really excited. So although I was really excited about that, I was just like, oh, okay. I found myself just napping, just like every day, just like, oh my God, like I just tired. I felt so unproductive. I didn't know what was going on throughout like my day to day. It just felt like an endless loop. Like I wake up, have lunch, do some cleaning, watch EastEnders or whatever anime, and then go back to bed. And I can't operate like that. I feel like I need to be busy. But then I was like, okay, cool. Let me take a bath. This bath was really such a pivotal moment for this week because who would have thought? But guys, take a bath. Honestly, showers are amazing. Yeah, quick and easy. But a bath, you're just sat in that bubble bath. Got the bubbles around you. Got a glass of wine. It's great. Nothing like it. But anyway, did that. I was reading my book. Still reading Atomic Habits. And then I put it down. I was like, let me just think. And then I was like, okay, cool. So what I'm feeling is I'm overwhelmed. I feel like I'm on the come down of like all those months of stress trying to book in interviews, doing presentations, trying to just get myself mentally okay to shut out all that emotional noise if I didn't get that job or stuff like that, and just powering through. And it's like, now it's to come down of that and trying to make sure I'm okay. And it was a lot. And I guess aside from that, it's just dealing with so much change because obviously even with work, this is such a different environment for me that I have to really focus in and get to grips of understanding that, I have training, but it's like, okay, this is new. Again, still processing just changes in, let's say, friendship circles or just even relationship circles. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm just trying to just sort myself out, if that makes sense. And even family dynamics. And I felt like it was just a lot. And I'm someone where I don't, again, asking for help or being openly vulnerable isn't the biggest thing for me. So it's like, there's two things that goes a bit left with that. I wasn't someone that would actively ask for help or support. So it's like, I feel like people didn't know to ask me if I'm okay, or not a lot of people anyway. Don't get me wrong. I still got people that I love them. They really helped carry me through this process. But it's like, I guess emotionally, I'm somewhere I don't like to be like, hey, I'm really sad right now. Can you like come over? Like, I find that ick. But over the course of even this podcast, I've learned it's so important to be like that, be open, ask for help, because boy, you can't just isolate yourself for too much. Too long is too much. And the second half of that is if I'm not someone that's going to openly ask for it, I'm also someone that just looks like I got it all together. And I feel like it's great in terms of image, and it's great in terms of shutting people out from wanting to know too much about my business or stuff that I feel like is negative. But I had to rephrase that and actually realize that no, there's strength in being vulnerable, and there's strength in showing when things aren't going well, and you can learn so much from that. Like I practice reaching out to friends or people that I don't really know that well, but we've had good conversations, and then I'm just like just letting them know how I've been feeling, and I've had such good insightful conversations because of that. And I felt like my friendships I have now have become so much more deeper and more emotionally bonded. And it feels nice. I feel like I'm becoming a whole different person than I originally set myself out to be, that I never knew I was going to be like. And I think that's all due to me having to experience what I've experienced this past year. And I love that for myself. Like, it's great. So that was things I was processing in the bath. I'm like, okay, cool. This is what's going on. This is how I feel. And it felt like I lost a lot of control, being deflated, because I didn't know what's going on and getting anxious and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, Marcus, stop. Like, okay, cool. You know, financially, you need to sort yourself out. You know, and when it comes to, I don't know, connections to people, you need to sort that stuff out. Dynamics, knowing when to say no when you can't help out other people is so important as well. So what I decided to do was like, okay, cool. I'm going to sit down, get out my calendar. No. Before that, I spoke to ChatGPT. When I told you my mum, she said, go use ChatGPT. I said, okay, cool. So I said, hey, chat. And I literally just uploaded a page of everything that was in my head and how I've been feeling. And then what chat came back to me and said was like, okay, Marcus, you're not lazy. Remember, you're not lazy. You are just deflated, exhausted, emotionally exhausted. And broke down like 6 different areas as to where I've been exhausted and why maybe I've been not emotionally supported or feel that way and stuff like that, and gave me ways to kind of improve that. I was like, oh, okay. So it was one way to like help clear my way through the fog, if that makes sense, of my own head. Because sometimes, you know, when I don't know, like for me, sometimes my head just feels full. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it just feels like it's full, but there's nothing there, like a bit of air. Did I just call myself an airhead? But just full of air, and I don't know what to do with it. So making sense of it is hard. So when I did that, I was like, okay, great. And then from that, I did its recommendation. And I realized I haven't journaled properly since about a month. And I was like, oh my God, like I maybe wrote notes here and there, like in my phone, but I haven't sat down and journaled in my notebook in such a long time. So I was like, okay, did that. And I was like, started to feel a lot better. And I was like, okay. Then I started taking charge of my calendar, like I was going to say before, and just slotting in times of each of the day that I was like, okay, this is what I can do this day. This is what I can do that day. This is what I can do whatever. And also factor in time of what is within my control to, let's say, have fun and just to get out of my headspace. Because obviously financial, I'm like, oh, I can't do everything I want to do. I can't go on that flight right now. So I was like, okay, but what is within my disposal? I got a PS5 I barely play. So I was like, okay, I need to book in time to play that. I need to book in time to read because I really enjoyed that and having my bath time. So I feel like I'm like, yep, this is part of me. And yeah, just becoming a bit more what I do have and remembering what I do have and I'm fortunate to have and remembering that and just going forward. So it was a really good reset for me this week, and it made me realize, okay, great. So I just have a lot of anxiety and a lot of just to come down from the unemployment wave and just starting something new. And yeah, that's where I was like, okay, a bit better now. So yeah, that was a little bit of a life update from me, I guess. So that's my 2 goals already accomplished. Got the 10 episodes. I've been a lot more open and vulnerable. I'm having those conversations with people. And for the life of me, I can't remember the third one, but Planet Therapy, we are here. And I hope you guys just enjoyed the journey, you know? I feel like it's really been a learning curve. I can't lie to you. Like, learning how to edit and trying to upload on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts on time at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday has been hell on earth. Like, my laptop will freeze up. I can't get the audio properly. Lack of storage. It was a lot. It was a lot, but as time went on, I figured it out, and you guys got to watch and hear it, whether it was on time or not. That's not the problem. We're here forever. So yeah, it was a lot, but I definitely feel like this has been really healing for me. Just being able to share, especially when I'm talking about self-love and I'm talking about habits, when I'm talking about pressure and stuff like that. And it's been cool having to just really delve deep into myself and thinking about these topics and sharing it in a way that I feel like you guys could take in. And that's a skill in itself that I'm learning, even just talking. It's just like, oh my God, you guys actually know what's going on in my head. That's so scary to me, but it's been so empowering. So yeah, really enjoyed it. And honestly, just thank you again for just sitting here listening to me, because it's literally just my voice and I'm like, okay. What's next is we may have a season 2. We'll see how it goes. I think for now I haven't started yet, so I'm gonna settle into my role, and then I'll probably do it like this, another bulk of 10 episodes, go from there. If you guys want to maybe even hop on an episode, feel free to reach out to me. But yeah, I hope you guys just enjoy this. Again, we're active on YouTube, active on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And just because we have wrapped up and you've seen this as the last episode for now of season 1, doesn't mean a conversation ends there. You can always feel free to reach out to me across my platforms, Marcus Johnson on LinkedIn, or even on the YouTube or anything like that. And let's chat. And I encourage you guys as well. Like, this has been so good for me. And I really recommend talking to people, or really just accepting what you go through and learning how to let go of certain control, because I feel like that's been such a key thing for me. Learning what is within my control and accepting what's not. And then it's like, it brings so much peace to know what I then can do. And yeah, honestly, that's something to really take away. If you haven't taken away anything from this podcast season, take away that, and you'll just be a lot more peaceful, I hope and pray. And yeah, so I'm going to stop here. Hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, peace.